Long before Wales became known as the land of song, before Celtic hymns echoed through chapel walls, before revival fires swept across valleys and coal towns, another empire stood upon these hills. The year was AD 48. Rome had conquered much of Britain. Its legions marched beneath eagle standards. Roads stretched across the landscape. Fortresses rose from the earth. Wealth flowed toward the heart of an empire that ruled the known world. Yet beyond the frontier lay a land unlike any other. A land of mountains. A land of tribes. A land that would not surrender easily. This was Wales. Before the Romans arrived, Wales was not a nation united under a single ruler. It was a land of tribes. 5 principal tribes occupied the region that would one day become Wales. In the northeast were the Anglesey, whose lands stretched toward the Irish Sea. Across the mountains of the north and central regions lived the Ordovices, a people who would become famous for their fierce resistance to Roman rule. The Demetae occupied the southwest, in the lands now known as Pembrokeshire and Carmarthenshire. To the southeast were the Silures, described by Roman historians as a formidable and warlike people who stubbornly resisted conquest. Along the eastern borderlands, the territory of the Cornovae extended into the fringes of northeast Wales, connecting the Welsh hills to the wider tribal world of Britain. Each tribe possessed its own leaders, traditions, and territories. No Welsh kingdom existed. No national government united them. Yet despite their differences, these peoples shared a common Celtic heritage shaped by the mountains, valleys, forests, and rivers of the land. Across the landscape stood hundreds of hill forts, defensive strongholds that crowned ridges and mountain tops. Trade connected Wales to Ireland, northern France, and the wider Celtic world. Copper, gold, silver, and lead were already being extracted from Welsh soil long before the arrival of Rome. The people knew these mountains intimately. The Romans did not. These tribes were not yet Christian. Their priests tended sacred traditions. Their poets preserved memory through song. Their stories were woven into the rivers, mountains, and forests that surrounded them. Yet beneath their customs and beliefs were questions that every generation must answer. Who governs the world beyond what can be seen? Where does true authority come from? What power is greater than kings and armies? In time, another message would arrive from the east. A message carried not by conquering legions, but by humble believers. But first, Wales would encounter the greatest empire the world had ever known. In AD 48, the Roman governor launched a campaign into Wales. The empire had conquered much of southern Britain. Now only the western tribes remained. The Welsh resistance proved fierce. Among the greatest leaders to emerge was a warrior named Caratacus. Having resisted Rome in eastern Britain, he fled west and united tribal resistance against the invaders. Again and again, Roman forces met determined opposition. Fortresses were built, legions were deployed, roads were carved through mountains. Yet victory remained elusive. The Silures earned a reputation for courage and defiance. Roman writers described them as stubborn and unconquerable. For decades, Wales remained a battlefield. By AD 60, the Roman governor Suetonius Paulinus pushed toward Anglesey. To the Romans, the island represented more than a military objective. It was considered a stronghold of the Druids. Ancient writers describe scenes of robed priests, raised hands, and ritual ceremonies. Whether those accounts were exaggerated remains debated. What is certain is this: Anglesey represented the spiritual heart of resistance. When Roman troops crossed the water and secured the island, it marked a decisive turning point in the conquest of Wales. Yet Rome's victory would prove temporary. Far to the east, a rebellion led by Queen Boudica erupted, forcing the Romans to abandon their gains and rush back across Britain. Eventually, Roman authority spread throughout Wales. But unlike southeastern Britain, Roman influence remained limited. Few towns were established. Only one true Roman-founded town arose within Wales. Most of Rome's presence remained military: forts, roads, watchtowers, and mines. The Welsh mountains contained extraordinary mineral wealth. At Dolaucothi, Roman engineers developed sophisticated systems for extracting gold. Aqueducts carried water. Reservoirs powered mining operations. Thousands of pounds of precious metals flowed from Welsh soil into imperial coffers. Wales had become valuable, not because Rome wished to transform it, but because Rome wished to profit from it. Romanization came unevenly. In southeastern Wales, Roman customs took root. Towns such as Caerleon developed. Latin inscriptions appeared. Commerce expanded. Yet much of Wales remained distinctly Welsh. Ancient hill forts continued to be occupied. Local leaders governed their people according to long-standing customs. In many regions, Roman rule meant little more than taxes, roads, and soldiers passing through. The mountains still shaped daily life. The old tribal identities endured. Rome ruled Wales, but Wales never became fully Roman. At some point during the Roman centuries, another influence quietly arrived. Christianity, not through conquest, not through legions, but through merchants, travelers, and scattered believers. The exact moment remains unknown. Archaeology offers only fragments. Yet by the end of Roman rule, Christian communities existed in parts of Britain. Tradition remembers martyrs. Ancient writers mention believers. Seeds had been planted, seeds that would survive long after the empire vanished. In AD 383, the Roman general Magnus Maximus withdrew troops from Britain. One by one, the symbols of imperial authority disappeared. The roads remained, the forts remained, the mines remained. But Rome itself was gone. Yet Wales endured, the mountains endured, the people endured. And in the centuries that followed, something remarkable would happen. The faith that arrived quietly during the Roman era would take root. Monasteries would rise, missionaries would emerge, the gospel would spread across valleys and mountains. The story of Wales was only beginning.